A child spirit has followed you since Tuesday. Archangel Michael says, it's time to show you what it wants. It started quietly, not with thunder, not with a crash, but with silence. A silence that came over your space on Tuesday. You didn't know it then, but something stepped through. A presence. A child spirit. It didn't knock, and it didn't announce itself, but it arrived. It came from a place between the worlds. It came with soft feet and white eyes. It came not to scare you, but to speak to your soul. Since that moment, little things have been happening. You felt cold near your ankles. You heard soft tapping at odd hours. You thought you saw something small move out of the corner of your eye, but when you looked, nothing was there. You brushed it off. You kept going. But heaven saw that you noticed. Heaven saw your heart stir, even if your mind doubted. That's why this message found you. Because Archangel Michael had been waiting for this moment. This child is not random. This is not just a lost spirit roaming the earth. No, this one is different. It was assigned to you. It has followed you since Tuesday for a reason. It has been given permission to reach you. It has been trying to tell you something that cannot be said with human words. That's why the air felt heavier near your bed. That's why your dreams have started shifting. That's why you've been feeling watched, but not in fear, in mystery. The child brings a message, but it also brings a memory that belongs to you but was locked away. This child is connected to your story. This spirit once cried when you cried. It saw what you forgot. It witnessed a moment in your childhood when something was taken from you in the dark. Not something physical, but something spiritual. And now, heaven says, it is time for that moment to return. It is time for you to be restored. Archangel Michael is speaking with urgency now. He says, do not be afraid. This child means no harm. This child is a key, a symbol, a messenger, and the message is sacred. You will not understand it all at once. But if you open your spirit, if you trust what you feel, then what was broken will begin to mend. What was hidden will be uncovered. What was delayed will be restored. You are not imagining things. You are not broken. You are being chosen for a divine encounter that has waited years to be revealed. From Tuesday until now, this child spirit has followed you because heaven commanded it. And now the time has come. You must see what it wants. You must hear what it carries. The veil is thin. The moment is here. Type I am ready to see to receive blessing 4777. You may be wondering, why you? Why now? Why would a spirit child, quiet and small, come to you after all this time? The answer is not found in fear. The answer is found in your pain. This child carries something that matches the shape of a wound you have carried for years. A wound so old that even you forgot where it began. But heaven did not forget. Archangel Michael did not forget. This child did not come to scare you. It came because something inside you finally became still enough to hear. The noise of life has been loud, but lately you have been quieter. Your spirit has grown more sensitive, more open. This gave the child permission to draw closer. On Tuesday, a door opened. You did not open it with your hands, but with your heart. And this child walked through, carrying a message only your soul could understand. Type I am rising to get the blessing 7856. This spirit is not bound to your home. It is bound to your memory. It keeps returning to the same corner. It lingers near the same chair. He waits at the foot of your bed because that is where your forgotten pain first began. You may have been very small when it happened. Perhaps something was said to you that stole your voice. Perhaps something was done in secret that shut your heart. The child knows. It was there. This child is not a stranger to you. It mirrors you. It reflects your innocence, your silence, and your longing to be understood. It shows itself through small movements and strange dreams because words are too heavy for now. It doesn't want you to be afraid. It wants you to be free. That is why Archangel Michael is standing close. He has wrapped the child in light. He says, "Let the one who once lost their voice now begin to hear truth again." Type I am anointed to get blessing 6622. You may have sensed the child near mirrors. You may have felt something behind you, but when you turned around, nothing was there. That's because the child is not trying to show you a ghost. It's trying to show you a moment. A moment that lives between times. A moment when your heart broke and you were too young to understand it. That moment has been frozen in spiritual space. But now, heaven is ready to melt it. The child doesn't speak because you were once silenced. But its silence is loud. It echoes in your body, in your memory, in your sleep. You are not going crazy. You are not under attack. You are being invited to reclaim the part of yourself that was hidden when you were too fragile to fight. The child comes as a guide, a signal, and every time you feel its presence, it's another piece of the message trying to reach you. Type I am protected to get blessing 3101. You may even remember a specific toy, a blanket, or a smell from long ago that suddenly came back to your mind. That is not random. The child spirit brings these things with it. It uses the past to speak. Because your past is where the broken message lives. This message was interrupted, delayed, and almost destroyed. But it has survived. And now it wants to be completed with you. Archangel Michael says, the message is fragile, but it is holy. Treat it with care. Do not rush. Do not reject it. This is a slow revelation. The child will keep returning, not to scare you, but to remind you. You are still healing from something you didn't even remember was broken. But the healing has already begun. Type I will not run to get blessing 5144. This journey is sacred. You may cry without reason. You may feel tired in your bones. You may wake up feeling like someone spoke your name in the dark. That's the child reaching into your dreams. It is not haunting you, it is helping you. The message it carries is not complete until you say yes. Not with your mouth, but with your heart. When you agree, the silence will begin to speak. And when it does, the part of you that was lost will begin to return. This is why you were chosen. Type I accept the child's message to get blessing 2987. The child's spirit does not move unless your spirit responds. It waits. It watches. It lingers in the quiet corners of your home, not to invade, but to be welcomed. This is not a spirit that breaks down doors. It only enters the places where healing is ready. Archangel Michael says, the child stands still until you open your soul. That opening does not come from loud prayers. It comes from gentle surrender. From small yeses whispered in the dark. Since Tuesday, the child hath been near your steps. It has followed you from room to room, from thought to thought. You may have suddenly remembered your younger self this week, how you looked, how you felt. That was the child pulling memory forward. It is heaven's way of saying, look again. Go back there. But this time, you will not go alone. You are being taken into your own past with angelic protection wrapped around you. Type I am listening to receive blessing 4188. You may feel a strange mix of emotions, sadness without a reason, joy without a cause. That is the Spirit touching your heart. It is reminding you of something before you ever had the words to explain it. When you were small, something was left unfinished in your story. A piece of your innocence was taken. A moment was never healed. And this child has been sent to bring that missing part back to you. At times, you may feel heaviness when you pray, or you might feel like something is behind you when you stand in a quiet room. Don't run. Don't fear. That's the child waiting for your yes. It is carrying the parts of your spirits that were hidden away. It does not want to scare you. It only wants to deliver what belongs to you. That is why Archangel Michael allowed this spirit to pass through the veil at this time. Type I am open to healing to get blessing 6333. This child is part of your redemption story. Every soul has one. And in yours there was a break, a silence. When you were young, someone shut down your voice. Maybe it was through fear. Maybe it was shame. Maybe it was just neglect. But the child remembers. It still holds the echo of that moment. That's why it comes near mirrors, near beds, near childhood objects. It is calling your spirit back to itself. The healing is not loud. It is soft like a lullaby. It is slow like the sunrise. It does not come all at once. But each time you notice the child's presence, something inside you shifts. A part of you breathes again. A part of you that thought no one ever saw. But heaven saw it. And now, that piece of you is being returned. Through the child. Type I welcome the lost piece of me to get blessing 2752. If you've been waking up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., know this. That is when the veil is the thinnest. That is when heaven speaks the clearest. And that is when the child is allowed to stand closest to you. You are not being disturbed. You are being called. Your spirit is being summoned back into alignment. The child does not move without heaven's order. And it was heaven who chose you. Archangel Michael speaks now again. He says, the child is not just a symbol. It is a key. A spiritual key to unlock the door that was closed in your childhood. When you were left alone. When you cried into a pillow and no one came. When you held pain in silence. That door hath been locked for years. But this child carries the key in its hand. Type I hold the key now to get blessing 8111. And this is the moment where you must make your choice. Not with fear but with faith. Will you receive what the child has been carrying? Will you say yes to the healing that you didn't know you needed? The child will not force itself upon you. It will wait. It will remain near until your spirit leans forward and whispers, I'm ready. When you say yes, the silence will break. The healing will begin. You are not alone. Not anymore. Type I am stepping into wholeness to get blessing 5229. You've just heard the call. The child has waited. And now, so has heaven. If this word reached into your spirit, if the presence of the child awakens something long buried, then this moment is sacred. When you give, you help someone else say yes to their healing. You're not just supporting a video. You're sowing into the soil of broken hearts. You're releasing oil into dry bones. God says in Isaiah 58:12, you will restore the foundations of many generations. That is you. I heard the call. Will you answer with action? Support this divine mission through super thanks, membership, or a gift through PayPal. The link is waiting in the video description. Your giving is not a donation, it's a prophetic agreement. And I bless your seed to multiply healing across the earth. Give boldly. Heaven is watching. Yours is something the child spirit keeps returning to. A memory, a location, a feeling that always leaves you uneasy. Maybe it is a corner of a room. Maybe it is an old photograph. Maybe it's a sound that takes you back to a time you try not to think about. The child spirit is not trying to hurt you by bringing it back. It's trying to help you heal. Archangel Michael says, the child is pointing to where the pain first entered. You may have felt strange emotions this week. A wave of sadness while doing normal things. A sudden tear while hearing a simple song. These are not accidents. These are signals. The child carries a mirror. But this mirror does not show your face. It shows your first wound. Not the one people saw. Not the one they talked about. But the one that went silent. The one that was buried in the deepest part of your soul. Type I am remembering with courage to get blessing 4271. When you were small, someone broke a promise to you. Maybe they said they'd protect you, but they didn't. Maybe they told you they loved you, but it was just words. That's where the crack began. And now the child spirit is showing it to you. Not to shame you, but to set you free. The healing begins when you stop running from that place and begin to revisit it with heaven's help. The child is not just bringing pain to the surface. It's showing you that you were not alone when it happened. You may have felt alone. You may have even cried into your pillow, thinking no one heard you. But heaven did. The angels did. And now, this child is showing you what they saw. It's time for you to see it too, with new eyes. With a healed heart. With the light of truth instead of the darkness of fear. Type I'm strong enough now to get blessing 3699. The reason this memory was hidden so long is because it was too heavy to carry as a child. You weren't ready then. But you are now. You've grown. You survived things that were sent to destroy you. You've made it through storms others didn't. And because of that, you now have the strength to walk back into the place where it all started and change the ending. The child is not reliving the past. It is rewriting it. This week, you may notice things that remind you of childhood. An old smell. A cartoon. A piece of music. These are tools the child uses. They are not just memories. They are doors. Doors back to the moment that needs your attention. And when you walk through them, you don't walk alone. Archangel Michael goes before you. His sword cuts through the lies that were told to you. His light breaks the chains that were wrapped around your heart. Type I walk with angels now to get blessing 7540. The healing will not be loud. It will not come with shouting or noise. It will come in stillness. In the quiet moment when you say to your younger self, you didn't deserve that. It wasn't your fault. I see you now, and I love you. That is what the child spirit needs you to say. That is the permission it's been waiting for. That is when the energy shifts. That is when peace begins to return. You may feel like crying. Let the tears come. They are not weakness. They are washing. They are rivers sent by heaven to clean the wound that has stayed open for too long. Every tear that falls carries the weight of years you spent hiding the pain. But now, the hiding is over. The healing has begun. And this child will not leave until the healing is complete. Type I give my younger self love to get blessing 6315. This moment is sacred. It may feel small, but in the spirit, it is powerful. It's not about remembering everything clearly. It's about feeling it honestly. You don't have to force anything. Just be present. Let the child guide you. Let the memory rise. Let Archangel Michael speak over that old moment. You will begin to feel the shift soon. Your body will feel lighter. Your sleep will become deeper. And joy will begin to return. You are stepping into restoration. There was a night when something changed in you. You may not remember the exact date, but your soul remembers the moment. It was the night the light inside you dimmed. Something happened. Maybe you were hurt. Maybe you were ignored. Maybe you were made to feel invisible. At night, your spirit cried out, but no one answered. No one came. It is the moment the child's spirit now returns to. That is where it stood, in the dark. Archangel Michael says, what was hidden in the dark must now be seen in the light. The child did not disappear. It simply waited. It waited for your spirit to become strong enough to come back. It waited for your heart to soften again. And now, it has come out of the shadows, not to haunt, but to show you what still needs healing. The night long ago is not forgotten. Heaven marked it. Heaven saw it. Heaven wept with you. Type I bring light to the dark to get blessing 5088. When the child's spirit appeared near your mirror or passed behind you in your dream, it wasn't trying to scare you. It was reenacting the moment you were unseen and wanted you to feel what it felt. Not to harm you, but to open you. You are not reliving the pain. You are reclaiming your power. That power was stolen in a moment of silence. But now, the silence is breaking. The veil is thinning. The light is rising. The child is brave. It is showing you where it stood and how long it waited. It brings you back to the hallway, the room, the sound of footsteps that never came to check on you. The empty chair. The locked door. These are the scenes your soul remembers but your mind forgot. Now they are returning, not to torment, but to be rewritten. You must see them again with new eyes, protected by heaven's warriors. Type I am not alone this time to get blessing 3920. Some people carry loud trauma. Others carry silent pain. Yours may have been quiet. You learned to hide it well. You smiled. You performed. You acted like everything was okay. But the child saw the truth. The child never forgot. And now, it stands beside you, saying, please don't forget me again. That version of you, the small, broken version, is still waiting for someone to say you matter. I see you. I'm here now. If you've been feeling tired, weak, or drained, it's not just life. It's spiritual weight. You've been carrying an invisible burden for too long. The child's spirit is trying to help you put it down. That is why you may cry randomly, feel heavy after dreams, or suddenly need rest. This is not spiritual attack. It is spiritual repair. You are being rebuilt, not broken. The pain is being drawn out so healing can flow in. Type I allow healing to enter me to get blessing 6147. Heaven is working behind the scenes. You may not see angels, but they are near. Archangel Michael has surrounded your space. The child is not alone. It is guarded. It has been assigned to you by divine order. And now, as it walks beside you, it brings both memory and message. You must listen. You must pause. You must stop running from the moment, because it holds something you left behind, the part of you that still believes in joy. This child has waited years for your yes, and now that you've noticed it, the shift has begun. Things may feel strange, lights flickering, time feeling slower, your senses sharper. That is because your spirit is waking up, and the child is walking you toward the door you once shut tight. But this time, you are not scared. You are not small. You are returning with power, with light, with angels all around you. Taipai will walk through the door to get blessing 7604. His next part of the journey may bring more memories, but do not push them away. They are not here to break you. They are here to restore you. Let the child show you what it saw. Let the light shine on the shadow, and let your soul finally say, "This happened, but it didn't end me." You survived the night, and now you will heal the child within, and healing the child will heal your future. This is your holy return. Not all messages come through words. Some are carried in silence. Some are felt in the spaces between breaths. That is how the child's spirit speaks. It doesn't use a voice. It uses stillness. It sits quietly, waiting for your soul to calm down, because only in the quiet can you hear what your spirit forgot. Archangel Michael says, the message is not loud, but it is alive, and now it must be heard. The child's spirit may appear when everything is still, late at night, early in the morning, when your phone is down and your thoughts are soft. That's when it steps close. You may feel a sudden stillness in the room, like something sacred has entered. That is the child carrying a memory, one you buried, one that matters, one that must be seen again with spiritual eyes. Taipai hear what was never said to get blessing 4705. This message is not new. It was given the moment your pain began, but it was never delivered. The hurt was too loud, the fear too heavy, your heart too small. But now you have grown. You've survived storms. You've walked through fire. And because of that, your ears have opened. Your spirit is finally able to receive what was delayed. And the child's spirit has been waiting for this moment. Do not be surprised if old feelings come back. Feelings you thought you got over. That's not weakness. That's memory. The child is helping you feel what you weren't allowed to feel back then. The sadness, the anger, the confusion. It's okay. Feel it now. But this time, feel it safely. Feel it with heaven around you. You are not reliving it. You are redeeming it. Taipai feel and heal to get blessing 3859. The silence is not empty. It is full of meaning. It carries what you need. You may find yourself staring at nothing and yet feeling everything. You may sit in silence and start crying. That is the moment the message is coming through. Don't push it away. Don't get busy. Stay in that stillness. That is where the child speaks. That is where the wound begins to close. Sometimes, healing begins with something simple. A word, a smell, a memory of a toy. The child's spirit carries these things. It brings them to the surface, hoping you'll notice. When you do, something begins to move. A light stirs. A bond reconnects. The broken part of you starts whispering, "I'm still here." And finally, you can whisper back, "I haven't forgotten you." Taipai honor the child in me to get blessing 6792. The child's spirit is not asking you to do everything at once. It is patient. It knows healing takes time. It simply wants you to notice. A pause. To invite. When you say yes, even a small yes, it opens the door wider. And when the door opens, heaven sends help. You are not doing this alone. You are not expected to be strong every second. You are simply asked to be willing. Archangel Michael says, the message is not a sentence. It is a restoration. It is a slow unfolding. Like a flower in morning light. Let it open. Let it speak. Let it sing. The child's spirit holds a song that was silenced. And now, that song is coming back. You may hear it in your spirit. In a dream. In a whisper. Listen closely. That is the sound of your soul remembering who you were before the pain. I let this song rise again to get blessing 5620. This journey is not about going backward. It is about going deeper. Not to live in the past, but to reclaim what was lost there. The child's spirit has carried your light through the dark, and now it is bringing it back to you. Piece by piece. Moment by moment. Silence by silence. You are becoming whole again. Not because of noise, but because of stillness. The healing is quiet, but it is real. You are ready now. You are hearing what was once hidden. And the message is this: you were never forgotten. You are still chosen. You are still loved. The child's spirit has waited to deliver that truth. And now, it has finally reached you. Let it in. Some spirits leave after a few moments. Some fade with time. But this child's spirit did not leave you. It stayed. It followed you quietly from Tuesday until now. Why? Because it carries a mission that could not be forgotten. Archangel Michael says, the child refused to leave because part of your soul was still waiting to be found. It was never here to harm you. It stayed to restore you. You may wonder why it waited so long. Why not 5 years ago? Why not when the pain first started? The answer is simple. You were not ready. Not because you were weak, but because heaven had to prepare you. Healing is not just about remembering. It's about timing. God waited for the moment your spirit would be open, your heart soft enough, and your mind quiet enough to feel what was waiting to be healed. I am open in God's timing to get blessing 4488. Think about the past few days. Have you felt strange peace in moments you expected fear? Have you noticed that something small keeps catching your eye? Like a shadow, a child's giggle, a cold touch near your hand. These are not accidents. The child is near, watching, waiting, hoping you will notice, not with fear but with love. Because it is not here to haunt. It is here to hand you back a piece of yourself. This child's spirit carries light, a quiet light, not the kind that blinds you, the kind that finds you in the dark and leads you back home. You've been lost in some way, not on the outside but inside, and the child knows the path back. It doesn't rush you. It doesn't push. It simply walks beside you. A soft presence. A small reminder that you are not too late. I am returning to myself to get blessing 3273. You may have felt tears come without warning, or dreams that took you back to childhood. That is the Spirit bringing the message closer. Each dream is a step toward healing. Each tear is a crack in the wall you built long ago. Let the tears fall. Let the memories rise. You do not walk through them alone. A child walks with you. Archangel Michael stands guard behind you. This child did not forget you. It remembered every silent cry, every lonely night, every time you hoped someone would notice your pain. And now it says, I never left. I stayed because you matter. This is your moment of return. The return to innocence. The return to truth. The return to the self that was buried under pain but never truly lost. I welcome back what was lost to get blessing 6184. You may feel the child near you when you wake up. You might sense a warmth on your back or hear something softly moving in the room. That is the spirit letting you know, I am still here. Not to scare you, but to remind you that your healing is still in progress. It has not ended. It is unfolding like petals in light. This process is holy. Let it be slow. Let it be true. Archangel Michael speaks once more. He says, the child was not a stranger. It is the peace of your spirit that refused to die. It hid when pain came. It stayed silent when fear ruled. But it never gave up. It waited for this moment. And now, it has found you again. Do not push it away. Do not rush the process. Just breathe. Let it stay near. Type I embrace the child's spirit to get blessing 5733. You are not just healing. You are being restored. And this restoration is not loud or dramatic. It is gentle. It is steady. It is spiritual. You will notice small changes, more peace in your heart, more clarity in your thoughts, more love for your younger self. This is the sign that the child's spirit's work is beginning. It stayed because you were worth waiting for. And now that it has your attention, the light will grow stronger. Stay present. The child is still walking beside you. The child's spirit did not come empty-handed. It came holding something. Not something you can touch, but something your soul can feel. It is a gift. A gift you once had but lost. A gift that was stolen by pain, fear, or silence. This child is bringing it back now. Archangel Michael says, the child carries what was taken from you before you knew how to protect it. You may have noticed it already. A new feeling of strength, a sudden moment of peace, or a deep sense of hope. That's not random. That is the gift returning. When the child came near you on Tuesday, it came with that gift tucked inside its spirit. And now, as it walks with you, it is slowly giving that gift back to your heart. Not all at once, but in quiet pieces, day by day. Type I receive what was stolen to get blessing 4960. This gift might be your voice. Maybe you were once full of life, full of laughter. You use it to speak your truth. You use it to dream big. But something happened. Someone made you feel small. Someone told you to be quiet. Someone made you think you didn't matter. And little by little, you stopped showing up fully. It was the moment the gift went missing. But it was not destroyed, it was just hidden. And now, the child is bringing it back. Or maybe your gift was joy. You once smiled without trying. You danced when no music played. You believed good things were possible. But then the world showed you pain. And your joy dimmed. That joy is what the child carries now. A joy is what it wants to return to you. You may feel small waves of happiness again. Moments that surprise you. That is the gift rising again. Top I accept the joy of my youth to get blessing 6391. Sometimes, the gift is courage. Maybe you once believed you could do great things. Maybe you were brave, bold, and fearless. But then someone broke your heart. Or you were told to stay quiet, stay small, stay safe. That's when the fear came. And with it, the courage disappeared. But not forever. The child spirit has carried your courage all this time. And now, it's offering it back to you. The child does not give you something new. It gives back what was always yours. What you were born with. What God placed in your soul before the world touched it. That is why this return feels so personal. It feels like you are remembering something, not learning it. Because deep down, your soul always knew. It just needed help to remember. Type I remember who I was to get blessing 5706. This child spirit may move close to you when you are alone. You may feel a sudden warmth on your shoulder or a sense of being watched, but not in fear, in love. That is the child handing you a small piece of the gift. You may cry. You may laugh. You may feel both. All of that is part of the return. Let the feelings come. They are signs that your heart is opening again. Archangel Michael says, you will not receive it all at once. You will not be overwhelmed. The gift will come gently, like morning light, like soft rain, one drop at a time, until your soul is full again. This is not a moment of pressure. It is a moment of grace. You are not behind. You are right on time. And what is coming back to you now is holy. Type I welcome the gift with grace to get blessing 4132. You might be tempted to doubt this, to say, maybe it's just in my head. But listen carefully. The spirit world is more real than what you see with your eyes. The child spirit is real. The gift is real. And the healing is real. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to believe that you were never forgotten, never left behind, and never disqualified from the light. The child spirit came with the gift in its hands, and now it places that gift gently into yours. It whispers, this is for you. You were always meant to have it. Don't drop it this time. Don't hide it. Hold it with care. Because what you hold now is the beginning of your return. The return to your voice, your joy, your light. The return to you. There is a room in your heart that has stayed closed for many years. Maybe you forgot it even existed. Maybe you locked it long ago and threw away the key. But the child spirit did not forget. It has been standing near that room, waiting. And now, with each step you take, the door is starting to open. Archangel Michael says, the child has been sent to unlock the places inside you that were once too painful to enter. This room is not made of walls. It is made of memories. The room holds the words you never said, the fears you never faced, the moments you never shared. And even though the world moved on, that room stayed frozen in time. You walked past it every day without even knowing. But now, the child spirit has returned to lead you back to that place, with safety, with love, and with divine protection. Type I open the door to healing to get blessing 7421. You may feel nervous. You may feel like something heavy is pressing against your chest. That is your spirit remembering the room. It is not trying to harm you. It is preparing you. Healing is not easy, but it is holy. The child spirit walks ahead of you now. It reaches for the handle. The room does not open with fear. It opens with truth. And truth is coming. Inside the room are parts of you that you had to leave behind to survive. Your laughter, your boldness, your dreams, and also your tears, your confusion, your deepest pain. This is the room where the younger you once hid. But now, heaven says it's time to go back in, not as a victim but as a healer. Not in fear but in strength. Type I reclaim what I left behind to get blessing 6023. The child spirit may appear more clearly now. In dreams, in flashes, in quiet moments. It is leading you, guiding you, pulling you into that space where you must remember. Don't be afraid. You are not alone. Archangel Michael's wings cover the doorway. Light surrounds you. The voices from the past cannot touch you now. You are stronger than before. You are wise. You are protected. Sometimes, healing begins when you sit in that room and say nothing at all. You just let the silence speak. You let the walls tell their story. You let the younger version of you be seen again. Not judged. Not fixed. Just seen. The child spirit is not there to force you. It is there to help you listen. It whispers, "You are safe now." Type "I am not afraid to see" to get blessing 3670. If you feel a sudden urge to clean, to write, to move things around, know this. Your spirit is responding to the shift. You are opening more than a memory. You are opening a doorway to new freedom. This room was not built to hold you forever. It was built to hold your pain until you were strong enough to release it. That time is now. Archangel Michael speaks again. Do not rush. Do not run. Just breathe. Let the child guide you step by step. Let every memory come and go like waves. You are not drowning. You are being washed clean. You may cry. You may feel things you forgot how to feel. That is all part of the unlocking. That is how light enters the room. Type "I let light into my hidden places" to get blessing 5915. When the room opens fully, you may feel tired. That is natural. Spiritual doors carry weight. But you will also feel lighter. Something will lift off your chest. You'll sleep deeper. You'll breathe easy. You'll feel more like yourself than you have in years. Because this room was not just a memory, it was a prison. And now, you are walking out of it. With grace. With power. With angels all around. You are becoming whole again. The child spirit has led you through a locked room, and the door is open now. If this message stirred something inside you, if healing has begun, don't let it stop here. When you support this work, you're not just helping a video. You are helping open spiritual doors for others still trapped in silence. You are sowing into their freedom, their return, their restoration. I believe God is using this message as a key, and your support becomes the hand that turns it. Let your giving be fire on the altar, a seed of deliverance, a divine act of obedience. As the Bible says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," Luke 6:38. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You can give through Super Thanks, join as a member, or plant a seed via the PayPal link in the description. Step into this move of God. Give now. Heaven is watching. There are many types of curses. Some are spoken out loud. Others are whispered in the spirit. But the strongest curses are made through silence. When truth is hidden, when pain is ignored, when voices are forced to stay quiet. That is the kind of curse the child spirit came to break. Archangel Michael says, this child carries the power to break the silence that was placed over your life. For years, you may have felt like you couldn't say how you really felt. You wanted to speak, but the words stayed locked inside. You wanted to tell someone, but fear stopped you. You smiled when you were hurting. You laughed when you wanted to scream. And little by little, your voice became small. That is what the child spirit came to heal. That is the curse it came to break. Type "I break the curse of silence" to get blessing 4216. Since Tuesday, the child has walked beside you, slowly showing you what was stolen. It has pointed to moments when people told you, "Don't talk about it," or "That's in the past," or "Be strong." But being strong didn't mean being silent. You were allowed to speak. You just didn't feel safe. And now, the Spirit is helping you find your voice again, not with loud shouting, but with gentle truth. You may have felt your throat tighten when remembering certain moments. You may have lost your voice during stress or cried when you tried to speak. These are not strange things. These are signs of a spiritual silence that was placed on you. But now, the child is lifting that weight. Every time you say what you feel, even just in prayer, the silence breaks a little more. Type I speak with freedom now to get blessing 5908. The child's spirit is not just about healing the past. It is about changing the future. When your voice comes back, everything changes. You begin to speak what is true. You begin to call things by their name. You begin to tell the truth, not just to others, but to yourself. You begin to say, "That hurt me," or "I deserve it better," or "I forgive now." These words carry power. They carry freedom. This is why the child spirit has stayed close to you. It knows your voice is part of your destiny. If your voice stays hidden, so does your calling. If your truth stays buried, so does your light. That's why it won't leave yet. It's waiting for you to say what was never said. It's waiting for you to speak over yourself what no one else did. I am worthy. I am healing. I am whole. Type I speak life over myself to get blessing 3655. Maybe when you were young, someone told you that your feelings didn't matter, or they punished you for telling the truth, or they laughed when you cried. That's where the curse began. It wrapped itself around your voice like chains, and every time you wanted to speak, it tightened. But now, Archangel Michael is breaking those chains. The spirit of the child is holding the broken links in its hands, saying, "You are free now." You might feel a release in your chest. You might find yourself singing again, praying louder, or speaking boldly. That is a sign of the curse being broken. The enemy tried to shut your mouth because your words carry weight. But no more. The child's spirit is guiding you into full expression, into truth, into the voice that was always yours. Type my voice is a weapon of light to get blessing 7134. From this point on, you may find it easier to say things you used to hide. You may find yourself opening up to people you once avoided. This is not weakness. It is victory. You are healing the silence. You are becoming someone new. Or maybe not new, but someone old, someone ancient, someone God made before pain took over. That person is returning, and they are speaking again. This is not just about talking. It's about living in truth. The curse of silence dies when the truth lives loud in you. And that truth is this: you were hurt, but you are healing. You were silenced, but your voice is rising. You were broken, but you are not beyond repair. Say it. Speak it. Let the world hear you breathe again. Because this is your moment to be heard. There is a gate in your spirit. It is not made of metal or wood. It is made of emotion. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks it. And standing near this gate is the child's spirit. Archangel Michael says, this child has come not only to heal, but to help you forgive what still holds you back. You may not want to forgive. That's okay. It's hard. Especially when the pain still feels fresh. Especially when the person never said sorry. But forgiveness is not about saying what they did was right. It's about letting go so it doesn't control your future. The child knows this. That's why it's been standing by this gate, waiting for you to be ready. Type I am ready to forgive to get blessing 4794. Forgiveness is not for the person who hurt you. It's for the part of you that was hurt. The part that froze in that moment. The part that has stayed stuck. The child spirit knows exactly where that part lives in your soul, and it wants to lead you to it, not to punish you, not to force anything, but to open the gate. Because behind that gate is peace, and peace is waiting to enter. You may feel resistance. You may feel like forgiving is unfair. But ask yourself, how long have you carried this? How heavy has it been? The pain doesn't get lighter by hiding it. It gets heavier. And the longer you hold it, the more it shapes your life. The child spirit knows that. That's why it gently whispers, let's release this. You don't need to carry it anymore. Top, I release the weight of pain to get blessing 6933. Maybe someone in your childhood hurt you deeply. Maybe they said things or did things that made you feel small, unloved, or invisible. You didn't deserve it. It wasn't right. But holding on to that pain has built walls. Walls that keep love out. Walls that keep joy out. The child spirit stands at those walls now. It places its hand on them and says, it's time to let the walls fall. Archangel Michael adds, forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering with freedom. It is saying, I know what happened, but it doesn't own me anymore. That's what heaven wants for you. Not to pretend, not to deny, but to look at the pain and say, you are not my prison anymore. This is what the child came for, to help you walk out of that spiritual cell. Type, I break free from my past to get blessing 3842. The moment you begin to forgive, even a little, the spirit world responds. You may feel lighter. You may feel like something just fell off your shoulders. You may sleep better. Smile more. Breathe easy. These are signs that the gate is opening. Forgiveness doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong enough to live without chains. The child spirit has been waiting for this moment. It knows what it cost you to hold that pain, and it knows how good it will feel to finally let it go. You may not feel ready to forgive everyone. That's okay. Start with yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. Forgive yourself for staying silent. Forgive yourself for carrying what was never yours to carry. That's how the gate begins to move. That's how the healing spreads. Type, I forgive myself first to get blessing 5120. Sometimes when you forgive, you'll feel sad. That's because you're releasing something heavy. Sometimes you'll feel scared because pain has become a part of your story. But forgiveness doesn't erase your story and changes how it ends. The child spirit is walking you to the place where the story turns, where the pain breaks, where the future begins. The gate is open now. The light is pouring in, and you are standing at the edge of freedom. The child spirit smiles, not because everything is perfect, but because the chains are broken. The curse is ending. The silence is fading, and your heart is beginning to breathe. Forgiveness is not the end. It is the beginning. After pain comes choice. After healing comes direction. Now that the child spirit has walked you through the dark, it is ready to show you the light. This is the part where the path appears. A new path. A holy one. A road you couldn't see before because the pain was blocking your vision. But now, the way is opening. Archangel Michael says, the child spirit is pointing to your next step. You've walked through memories. You've faced wounds. You've broken silence. You've even forgiven what seemed impossible. That was the hard part. But now, the shift begins. The child spirit stands at the edge of the road with a hand stretched out. It does not speak, but you know what it's saying. Come with me. There is more. Type I choose the new path to get blessing 6444. This new path does not look like the old one. The old path was heavy. It was filled with fear, shame, and silence. You kept walking it because it was familiar, but it never brought peace. The child spirit knows this. That's why it stands on this new road, a road marked with peace, a path filled with truth. This is the road where you no longer have to hide your pain. This new way allows joy to grow again. Not fake joy, not forced joy, but the kind that flows from being whole. It begins small, like a laugh that surprises you, like a moment where your chest feels light. That is the fruit of healing. The child spirit leads you step by step into that joy. Not all at once, but enough to remind you that you are finally safe to move forward. Type I follow joy without fear to get blessing 4780. You may feel unsure. That's okay. Starting again always feels strange. But you are not starting from zero. You are starting from strength. Everything you walk through, every tear, every prayer, every memory you faced, has prepared you for this moment. The child spirit walks ahead, but Archangel Michael walks beside you. You are fully surrounded, fully protected, fully anointed. On this path, you'll see signs. People will speak words that confirm what God is doing. You'll hear songs that speak directly to your heart. You'll notice numbers, images, or moments that feel too perfect to be random. These are divine confirmations. The spirit world is showing you that you are not imagining things. You are walking in destiny now. Type I trust the signs from heaven to get blessing 7312. This road may lead you to new places. It may lead you to speak to people you've never met before, to try things you were once afraid of, to dream bigger than you ever dared. That's how healing works. It gives you permission to expand. The child spirit did not come just to help you survive the past. It came to unlock your future. Archangel Michael says, you are no longer bound to the place where you were broken. You are bound to the purpose that came from it. The pain did not win. The silence did not last. And now, the path ahead is yours to walk, with angels all around, with heaven cheering for you, with the child spirit lighting your way. Type I walk in purpose and peace to get blessing 3609. As you move forward, don't be surprised if some people don't understand your change. Some will remember the old you, the silent one, the broken one, but you don't live there anymore. You are not called to explain everything. You are called to follow the path. Let the light speak for itself. Let your healing shine louder than your words. The child spirit will not walk with you forever. Its job is almost complete, but it leaves a mark on your soul, a light that never goes out, a reminder of who you are and how far you've come. When you feel that warmth, that stillness, that soft presence, it's the child reminding you, you chose to rise. You are walking a new road now, a holy one, and you are not walking alone. The child spirit hath been with you since Tuesday. It followed you in silence. It watched over your pain. It guided you through memories, healing, and truth. But now, its time with you is almost finished. Archangel Michael says, the child spirit came to complete a mission, and the mission is nearly done. This is not something to fear. This is something to honor. The spirit came in peace and will leave in peace. It did not come to stay forever. It came to help you remember who you really are. And now that your heart has begun to heal, the child's purpose has been fulfilled. But before it goes, there is one last message. Type I receive the final gift to get blessing 6406. You may feel a shift. The air may feel lighter. You might wake up one morning and realize the feeling of being watched is gone. That is not a loss, it is a sign. The Spirit has completed its assignment. It stood beside your broken places until they began to mend. It carried your hidden truth until you could speak it yourself. And now, it gives you back your strength. The final visit is quiet. It may come in a dream, or in a moment when you are alone. You may feel a hand on your back, a child's giggle, or a calm stillness that washes over you. That is the child saying goodbye, not with words but with peace. It is not a sad moment. It is sacred. It means you are ready to walk forward in your own light. I walk forward in peace to get blessing 5811. This last visit is not about memory. It is about release. The John Spirit came to bring something and to take something. It brought your lost innocence. It brought your locked up voice. It brought your frozen strength. And now, it takes the pain. It takes the shame. It takes the silence. It carries it away so you don't have to anymore. Archangel Michael watches this moment with joy. He says the mission is done. What was hidden is now seen. What was broken is now mending. What was lost has returned. You are no longer followed. You are now walking ahead. You are no longer being carried. You are standing tall. That is the sign of healing. That is the mark of restoration. Type the past has no power over me to get blessing 4675. The child leaves behind a light, not in the room, but in your soul. That light will guide you in the days ahead. When you feel unsure, it will whisper, "You're not the same anymore." When old pain tries to return, it will say, "We've already been there." You are not who you were before Tuesday. You are someone who faced the dark and walked out glowing. The Spirit will no longer appear in corners or in dreams. Its job is done, but its gift remains. You now carry the healing. You now hold the key. You now walk with the strength that was once hidden. The child leaves, but the change stays. You are now the one who carries light. You are the one who brings peace. I carry healing now to get blessing 7297. If you miss the child's presence, don't be sad. You're not going backward. You're going forward. And in going forward, you bring the child with you. Not as a spirit beside you, but as part of your spirit. You are whole now. The parts of you that were lost have come home. The silence has turned to song. The pain has turned to purpose. You are walking in the light of your full self. The child spirit came to deliver a message, but it ended up delivering you. It started with a whisper, a soft shift on Tuesday. A child spirit came into your life, not to scare, but to heal. It walked beside you, carrying pieces of your past, your truth, your pain, and your light. Now, the spirit is gone, but something holy remains. You. Not the broken Gurion. Not the silent one. The real you. The restored you. You have walked through memory and pain. You've cried tears that washed your soul clean. You've opened doors you once locked shut. And now, the healing has made space for something new. The child spirit's journey is complete, but yours is just beginning. Archangel Michael says, the light that followed you is now the light within you. This means the healing is no longer outside of you. It's inside. You don't need signs or whispers to know you're protected. You are the sign. You are the proof that pain does not win. You are the living message that the past does not get the final say. What began in silence has ended in strength. What began in fear has ended in peace. Type I am the light now to get blessing 8888. You may still feel memories come from time to time. That's okay. But now, you don't shrink when they come. You stand tall. You say, I remember, but I'm healed. The child who was once lost is now part of you again. Not hidden, not hurt, but home. Your steps from here are holy. Your breath carries peace. Your voice carries fire. The enemy tried to stop you with fear, but heaven has crowned you with courage. You are no longer waiting for healing. You are walking in it. You are no longer searching for answers. You are the testimony. Archangel Michael watches you with honor now. A mission is complete, and you have risen. The child's spirit is gone, but the light remains, and now that light lives in you. If this message opened your heart, if you felt heaven speak to your spirit, then don't let it stop with you. Let this be your moment to give. When you support this message, you help someone else walk through their pain, just as you have. You help another heart unlock the healing they waited years for. I declare this over your giving. Your seed will speak louder than your silence ever did. Your support will reach where words cannot. This is more than a donation. This is a divine action, a move of faith, a wave of light sent to the next soul. Support this mission through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or PayPal. The link is in the video description. You boldly. You're not just helping a message. You're helping someone rise.